Shabbat Shalom. Happy Thanksgiving. For those of you who marked the holiday, I hope your time at the Thanksgiving table was meaningful and that the food was bountiful. I hope too that you were able to connect or reconnect with dear ones and friends as we rebuild our lives in this semi-post-pandemic world. Thanksgiving can be such a wonderful opportunity to strengthen these bonds of love and friendship, especially now when we recognize such gatherings are not always a given. But like all holiday gatherings, Thanksgiving can be a trying time for some, laying bare family conflicts and grudges and long-held resentments that often reach a boiling point just as holiday dinner is being served. In fact, Thanksgiving is famous, or maybe infamous, for the sharp-elbowed conversations that often arise amidst the passing of turkey and all of those mouth-watering sides. Discussions that move from the gently prosaic, nice weather we're having, to the acutely polarizing, you voted for who? In a matter of seconds. Journalist Tara Parker Pope writes in her article, What Not to Talk About at the Thanksgiving Table. While the Thanksgiving table is a rare opportunity to bring people together for a meal, the conversation there can be uniquely fraught. The table often includes a mix of people who don't normally spend time together, chatty grandparents and sullen teens, picky eaters and exuberant noshers, sober friends and holiday imbibers, vegetarians and turkey lovers, liberals and conservatives, skilled chefs and bad cooks, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. Bringing all of these people together from the various segments of our lives and different areas of the country with their differing traits and opinions and choices is an inherently risky endeavor. But truth be told, it's no secret that family conflict is part and parcel of our holiday gatherings. And it makes sense that the extended and intense nature of these family affairs might only exacerbate feelings of anger and alienation that already exist in the family unit. For better or for worse, we are our most vulnerable selves when we're with our families. As Vienna Ferron, a licensed marriage and family therapist, explains, there's a lot of unresolved pain that originates in families and then is reactivated during these rare moments when everyone is together. Family just has a way of getting to the pain point and pressing it. As if on cue, our Torah portion this week, Parshat Toldot, explodes with seismic family drama and epic interpersonal clashes. Our text tells the turbulent story of twins Esau and Jacob, born to our patriarch Isaac and matriarch Rebekah. The twins battle with one another even in utero, destined to live lives defined by bitter conflict. As God tells a tortured Rebekah, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 separate peoples shall issue from your body. One people shall be mightier than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. The seeds of rivalry and jealousy hinted at in the womb are born out the moment the twins emerge into this world, with Esau coming out first, followed closely by Jacob, whose hand grasps gamely at the heel of his brother. A gesture which speaks volumes about the jockeying for power and status that already rages between the two. As Jacob and Esau grow, their differences compound. According to our text, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the outdoors, but Jacob became a mild man, raising livestock. Isaac favored Esau, but Rebekah favored Jacob. In this family, there's no hiding the parental favoritism at play, a favoritism which only amplifies the grievances between our two brothers. These fraternal grievances turn lethal when Jacob tricks his father into giving him a blessing meant for Esau. This after Jacob already tricked Esau into giving him his birthright, or the inheritance, so to speak. When Esau discovers what has happened, he not only crumbles in despair, but he decides then and there that he's going to kill his brother Jacob for what he's done and for the emotional damage he has wrought upon this family. Conflict seemingly soaks through every syllable of this parashah. It seemingly colors every interaction of this family and corrodes every scene we read. And yet, there is ample textual proof to reject this singular interpretation of our story. It isn't that the conflict between Jacob and Esau and Isaac and Rebekah isn't there. Oh, it is absolutely there. But our text, in the most beautiful and nuanced ways, reminds us that conflict isn't the only thing that defines this family. In fact, wouldn't you know it, that this portion, amongst all of the portions in our Torah, has the highest occurrence of the root bet resh chaf, the root which is translated as blessing. Rabbi Eli Kaunfer teaches this root appears 32 times in this portion, more than in any other portion in the Torah. How astonishing that in this morass of anger and revenge and manipulation lies this unexpected wellspring of blessing. Yes, blessings abound in this portion, with God blessing Isaac after he rebuilds his father's wells, and later Isaac blessing Jacob and Esau after they both approach him for his innermost blessing. It is a remarkable juxtaposition that our Torah presents us. This pairing of abundant conflict on one hand with abundant blessing on the other. This striking combination of conflict with blessing urges us to think more deeply about all aspects of this story, and in so doing, we are reminded of a very important lesson. And that is, conflict and blessing are not mutually exclusive. They can and do coexist. We see this in our portion, but we know this because we live out this dichotomy each and every day. For example, we often rage the fiercest at the people we love the fiercest. We holler and scream with unbridled passion, only to then embrace with that very same passion. We abhor even as we adore. We complain and harangue even as we cling. We humans are inconsistent. We are contradictory. We contain numerous, contrasting multitudes, and our Torah portion affirms as much. But perhaps the most important lesson to be taken from this portion, a portion characterized as it is by conflict and blessing, it is this. Remember what I first identified when I described the plot and the characters and the setting of this portion? I identified the conflict. I zeroed in on the friction and the hostility and the resentment, the roiling between Isaac and Rebekah and Jacob and Esau. But it was a colleague's close reading that allowed me to see the outsized presence of blessing alongside that conflict. It was a colleague's close reading that helped me reframe the story and deepen my understanding of the text. And it was his close reading that helped me realize, while blessing may not erase the conflict that is so pervasive in this text, it certainly can be a very powerful counterpoint to it. For many of us, conflict and the holidays go hand in hand. And for many of us, the conflict becomes the story of our celebrations. But perhaps there is room for another story to bloom alongside it, a story formed in blessing. That story may not always be easy to see because blessing is often quieter and less showy than conflict. And sometimes blessing is rather hidden. But maybe with the help of a friend or a loved one, we can begin to take notice of blessing and begin to see its outlines in a moment of kindness here or joy there, in a delicious bite of homemade apple crumble, or in a welcoming wag from the family dog, or maybe in a gorgeous roaring fire, or a gaggle of giggling children running across the dining room. These are the humble seeds from which blessings are made. And these are the stories grounded in love and gratitude and appreciation that will sustain us in the end. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Thanksgiving.